You know, pain should never decide how far you ride. If you've ever cut a ride short because of discomfort, you're not alone, and that's exactly the problem Zeta set out to solve. Every Zeta bike saddle is engineered with reactive padding technology designed to respond to your body and movement in real time. The result? Less vibration, fewer pressure points, and reduced hotspots, so you can stay focused on the ride, not the pain. And the difference is something you feel immediately. Better support, smoother miles, the kind of comfort that helps you ride longer, stronger, and farther than ever before. Because no two riders are the same, Zeta offers a variety of saddle shapes, widths, and ride styles, so you can find the perfect fit for your body and the way you ride. Stop adjusting to your saddle and start riding with one built for you. Ride pain-free. Ride Zeta. Visit us at zetasaddles.com today and find your perfect fit.
Zeta Saddles is a proud sponsor of the Irish Legacy podcast. Be sure to follow, subscribe, and listen wherever you get your shows. Welcome to the Irish Legacy podcast, presented by UCB Ireland, honouring the past, investing in Ireland's future. Whether your family name traces back to the hills of Kerry, the streets of Dublin, or the rugged coastlines of Donegal, this podcast is for everyone who carries a piece of Ireland in their heart. Here on the Irish Legacy podcast, we'll explore the stories, traditions, and Christian faith that have shaped generations of Irish families around the world. So, whether you're listening from Ireland, America, or anywhere else across the globe, welcome home.
Hello, Mike Segovia here, executive producer of the Irish Legacy podcast. We're excited to welcome one of our newest partners and sponsors to the Irish Legacy podcast, Patrick O'Shea from Zeta Saddles. Patrick is the founder of Zeta Saddles, a company bringing innovation and comfort to cyclists around the world. Patrick, thanks for joining me.
Hey, Mike, thanks. I'm excited to be here, and thanks for having me be involved.
Awesome. This is great. Listeners out there, Patrick and I go way back. We are graduating from Magnolia High School, class of 84 rules. So, Patrick, This is really cool, man. We've been buddies for a while. Now we get to do this together. Yes,
I know. I've been looking forward to this, sitting down with you. And just the history, you know, it's just we always pick things up. It's like we're still at Magnolia.
Yeah, exactly. Pick up right where
I love that.
Right where we left off. Cool. So we got some questions here for you, Pat. So let's just get started. First of all, welcome, to the Irish Legacy podcast family. And so, Patrick, why don't you tell our listeners, what is Zeta Saddles and how did this journey begin for you?
Yeah, riding road bikes mostly over the years and treating a lot of cyclists myself. Like everybody knows bike seats are bad.
Yeah.
And you just accept it. I accept it like everybody else. And, I had so many patients talk about it and complain about it. So I used to always tell people why they didn't work well. So that kind of brought me into, I did research and figured out and created some padding that we'll talk about, I guess. But it was just something I kind of got pulled into. Somebody said, why don't you make a bike seat? And I was like, oh, one of my patients, she's actually a pro cyclist too. So yeah, so they're on the bike so long and they're like, why don't they make a better seat? And so on that day, that's how it started.
Right.
So I had to dig in and do some research and, figure some things out. But yeah, it's funny to look back now and just think what I went through to get where I am now. It's pretty cool.
Well, I kind of wish I knew about this because I will tell you, a few years back, my wife and I went to Huntington Beach and I rented one of those bikes, and I said, we're going to go down to Huntington Beach Pier and then see how far we can get into Newport. Patrick, the next day I couldn't walk. Bro.
It's crazy. I mean, people, it's not only painful, but people have numbness and other issues and you feel bruised for a day or two at least, maybe 3.
Oh, I couldn't move. Thank God we already did Disneyland and all that because I was walking around like Igor. It was ridiculous.
Yes, the struggle is real.
The struggle is real, and it's cool that you get it because you are again a cyclist, and you're both a chiropractor and an avid cyclist. At what point then, I know you were kind of talking a little bit about this there, but at what point then did you realize that there was a major problem in cycling that needed solving?
Yeah, that's a great question. You come across things where people have more severe issues. They literally, I mean, even people that are say they're trying to conceive to have a family, and the doctors will tell them like, "Hey, stop cycling for a few months."
Oh, wow.
And they, yeah. So not to get too detailed there, just people like, affect some blood flow and circulation. That's where people get numbness, and so more clinical stuff. And but it really got to be where you hear it so much, and people even like their Peloton biker, they go, "Oh man, these seats are
Yeah.
terrible." But I love spin, but primarily dealing with road bike and now gravel bikes, so much bigger, mountain biking, and you hear the same stories. So, but that kind of led me to say something needs to be done about this. I just didn't think it'd be me,
Yeah.
but I thought, I understood, and depending how much detail you get into it, that it just becomes that maybe it was just the timing, but you run into people enough, and treating a lot of cyclists, even some pros and a lot of elite, but people that are just your everyday person, they're so into it, they're passionate about it. And I think for me, it was that side of me where people were saying, "I can't ride anymore. I just can't." And people get
Mm.
saddle sores, like legit sores. They can't ride, or scar tissue sets up. And that's, I kind of specialize in treating, breaking scar tissue up. So as a chiropractor, and that's really what pulled me in, because you hear these stories and people are just like, doctor said you just have to give it up, and you can
Mm.
just tell like it means so much to them. So the fitness, and they enjoy it. So,
Right.
but that was probably the number one thing that pulled me in, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. Patrick, a lot of cyclists almost expect discomfort as part of riding. What made you believe there could actually be a better solution?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I was in that boat as well. You just accept it. It's what's out there. But because of my background, as a chiropractor, biomechanics, and just understanding the physics or biophysics of the body, there's always that contact pressure, is equal and opposite force. So that's always present. And when you sit on the seat, you push air out
Mhm.
of the foam, or if there's gel, some people use both. But I just always knew that answer. So I think I would tell people, like, it's like I knew the answer for a long time, and I didn't even think I would solve it. But it's that when you push the air out, now the contact pressure actually increases, and then now you add time. So as you're riding the bike, you're sitting there, and if you're sitting upright or forward, it can be worse, depending. But that's really where I started thinking more about it. That if there was some way to change the physics, which would be to disperse or dampen the force to kind of away from the body. So you need a barrier, and that's kind of where I felt it was possible. I would say that I felt it was possible, but
Right.
still didn't think
Right.
it'd be me. But that's after a patient had asked about it and suggested that you should make a bike saddle. And I was more serious about solving it. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was really cool.
Awesome. It's cool because your saddles, they use the patent reactive padding technology. For the everyday,
Yes.
including myself, what makes Zeta different from a traditional bike seat? I mean, like I was telling you about, I rode that bike in
Yeah.
Huntington Beach and couldn't walk for 6 years. So yeah, so why?
Yeah. So I came up with that, and even I named it reactive padding, because
Mhm.
the physics of it is there's layers, and each layer is a different formula. So I use materials outside of the bike industry. I looked at a lot of things. So it's more of an aerospace, high quality type elastomers. And there's a lot of things where you can create. So it's a formula of different densities. So each layer kind of has, its own thing. So when you combine them together, I designed the reactive padding to be softer contact pressure, which is what we feel most.
Mhm.
And you sink into a support layer where, it's kind of like a 3D, or progressive pressure distribution, because it reacts with you. It literally is
Mhm.
supporting the rider, and then the bottom layer has a firmer and more shock absorbing layer. So you're kind of in this, like you connect your seat more, and that's the most important thing in the physics and for power transfer and cycling is you need your hips and pelvis stable. and that helps you drive better through your legs. But it also, by being more comfortable, you're going to perform better, because some people, they shift a lot. And but that's where once I came up with that, I tried a lot of different formulas. It was like Goldilocks effect: not too soft, not too firm, and just right.
Right.
That's how I did it. And again, it was like I was mad scientist in my garage working on things, ordering and testing. And but yeah, once I think I got it, I was like, that's really why I think I cracked the code. I think this is it.
That's it.
So
You felt the ship came in, if you would.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to feel validation, like all the reviews we get and people I meet at events. It's amazing. It's like they're patients. Like we talk and they're like, thank you. And I'm like, no, thank you. So I have a lot of fun with it. I really do.
That's great. It's so awesome, once again, that you're now, a big sponsor for the Irish Legacy podcast. And so that's what I want to talk about right now, a little bit about the podcast and you're Irish and all that kind of good stuff. Paddy, Paddy.
A little bit. Paddy O'Shea.
So the Irish Legacy podcast is all about stories, heritage, and purpose. So how was your Irish background shape the way you approach business and life? I know it's very important to you.
Yeah, it's just I know I'm so blessed. Youngest of 10 kids.
Oh, okay.
Irish Catholic lad, and growing up in our home, it definitely, our faith was first. And I mean, you don't know any better, right? You know your own family. Right. And it was all just so much love. And my parents, they led with that. So, and they made sure that we were, good to each other, and kind of just teaching us, like your faith is your guiding, like your compass. And so I think when you have that as your base, then your own life, but then also what you, I guess, pursue in life, or how you react in life, in business especially, it's relationships, like having your relationship with Christ, and then that being your center, it's going to guide you. And, it's like having that, like we know when sometimes times are tough, or you're having some struggles, and, maybe a lot of people don't have that foundation. So they react, or they interact with people differently. And where we have to stop sometimes and go, okay, I need to pray about this. I need to take time. And I think that's always with me every day. So my parents really made that the thing, and going out the door, we had a little holy water thing on the door there. It's okay, say your angel of God, say it, our Father, and bless yourself. And so it was just part of us every day, and I think it's somewhat like just with the Irish side of things that, like, my dad growing up in Ireland and coming over, like they had this way of they're welcome. Our home was welcome. Anybody was welcome. Kind of, so they really truly lived love. I'll say that real quick. My parents would always say, love is a verb. It's not a feeling. It's a verb. Love is, you're active and you're choosing to love. Like it takes that conscious effort. You know what I mean? So I always love that, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The Irish are known for resilience and creativity. Do you think there's something uniquely Irish about entrepreneurship and innovation?
Yeah, that's a great one, because I feel like, growing up and, even when I've been to Ireland, and the people are so welcoming and friendly, but they're individuals, and they're, you have to think outside the box a bit as an entrepreneur. And, I feel like, I want to say it's their openness, that they're just so open, and you have to be open to really, if you want to create, long history of, writers and just as a people to, I guess you say forge your own path would be a great way to say it, I think. But yeah, and for me, I've always had this pride of being Irish, and being there with my dad and mom. And I went back when he passed, and I brought his ashes to Clontarf Castle Cemetery that's where his father actually is buried. So, but it was like that. So it's deep in me. Like, I feel like I take that pride. And as much as I, born and raised in the US, you just feel a connection. And I really feel like how friendly and warm, and probably mostly that individualness, they're just great to be around. So
yeah, totally.
We need more of that in business.
Yes, absolutely. So the podcast is called Irish Legacy. When you hear the word legacy, What does that personally mean to you?
Yeah, God, that's a good one. My dad, he's my hero. And there's like that, I'll say there's that pride in like knowing how much he loved Ireland. Whenever I think of it, like we have an Irish flag and he'd go by it and he'd kiss it. I mean, he had such a love, and he had Ire, EIRE with the little hyphen there on his forearm and a little heart. He's so proud to be Irish. I love being American, but he grew up in Ireland, in Dublin, and in Clontarf, north side of Dublin. And, his family, which we went and saw some of the family in West County Cork, Glengariff is where they're at. So for me, I mean, there's a joy. And I feel like for me, I got to go there and be there with my dad and my mom. And I got to meet family and just to see my dad, how he was like, you could just see the peace. And he was just so, and I think, I don't know, I think a lot of people have pride, where their ancestors are from but when, living the passion my dad had, like watching football games and, we do the Irish dancing. My sister Peggy and I, Peggy. So we did Irish dancing, took a lot of heat from some friends. The kid, they don't understand. They just don't understand. So, but we did a lot of the Irish festivals, and again, like my dad, Irish music, was playing all the time, and but that it really carry it in your heart, like you feel a very personal connection to where you come from, but I think my parents they instilled it. My mom's McSherry. So O'Shea and McSherry, so
there you go.
As far as we know, everybody is from Ireland in our lineage.
That's right.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I feel blessed to have that for sure.
That's so awesome. I do want to go to Ireland sometime. I've never been there. The closest I've ever been was having a Shamrock Shake at McDonald's. And
well, I hope we can go together. That would be awesome.
Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. So what excites you most about the future and partnership of Zeta Saddles and the Irish Legacy podcast?
Yeah, I'm excited and again, very thankful for the opportunity to be connected and partner spreading the gospel and I can see what they're doing and just things going on in their country. And I feel like there's never been a better time to really raise awareness. And I think throughout history, I'm sure there's always times where people pray more or people are looking to the Lord, hopefully. And being a part of it, though, I'd love to contribute and, spread their message, and being on the podcast. And again, it's that special thing, the Irish connection. I feel like I'm meant to be here right now,
Totally. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
So naturally come together, and I'm totally excited about it too.
Yes. Yes.
For our listeners who love cycling, or maybe they want to get back into it comfortably, where can they learn more about Zeta Saddles? Tell me.
Oh, yeah. So website is zetasaddles.com, and then Instagram or Facebook, same, at Zeta Saddles. And they can get all the info there, and pretty easy, I'd say. And then there's a lot of info explains like why our seats are different and all that, reactive padding. And we do a 30-day money back guarantee. So there's no risk. I like to tell people that, I guess, is important. But yeah. I'd love them to try a Zeta.
Okay. All right, guys, check it out. Patrick, thank you again so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, and sharing us the story behind Zeta Saddles. We're excited to have you guys. Zeta Saddles is part of the Irish Legacy podcast family, and we're grateful for your support. To learn more about Patrick and Zeta Saddles, once again, visit zetasaddles.com. That's ZETA saddles.com. And be sure to check out the Irish Legacy podcast on your favorite podcast platform. On this episode of the Irish Legacy podcast, you've heard from Patrick O'Shea, founder of Zeta Saddles, an Irish entrepreneur who understands the importance of honoring his roots while investing in the future. Patrick's story reminds us that his Irish heritage is not simply something to remember, it's something worth preserving and passing on. If your family traces its roots back to Ireland, you have an opportunity to help keep Ireland's Christian heritage alive through the ministry of UCB Ireland. Through Christian radio, podcast, digital outreach, and prayer ministry, UCB Ireland is sharing the hope of Jesus Christ across the nation. To learn more and support the mission, visit ucbireland.com. That's ucbireland.com. Together, you can help and bring hope to Ireland.
Thank you for joining us on the Irish Legacy podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to share it with friends and family who are proud of their Irish roots. And to learn more about the mission and ministry of UCB Ireland, visit ucbireland.com, where you can discover more programmes, resources, and ways to stay connected. Until next time, may the Lord bless you, and may the legacy of Ireland continue to inspire faith for generations to come. Tá tú luachmhar, agus tá grá ag dahir navidit. Gomani an tiernit hu. This programme is a ministry of UCB Ireland.